Hello, I'm Joe Davies, I'm 17, I'm studying at the Sixth Form Centre in Newport, and I am running to be your Member of Youth Parliament for the Isle of Wight. Now, I'm going to try and just very quickly not keep your time. We're all busy people, time is money after all, but there are three main points in my manifesto I'd like to share with you today as to why you should vote for me. Okay, so first off, we've got young people and Brexit. Okay, whatever we think of Brexit, it's happening. By the time we vote next month, Theresa May would have triggered Article 50, which is like the official process for leaving the European Union. But what I think is wrong about that is young people were not given a say. So despite 16 and 17-year-olds voting successfully in the Scottish independence referendum in 2014, the government decided that we should be denied a voice in the EU referendum, despite the fact that it would sort of affect our futures. Anyway, I think there's no point crying over spilt milk about that, but what is important now is that we elect a youth representative, a member of Youth Parliament, who is going to sort of hold the government to account, write to Andrew Turner, our MP, write to government ministers, and try and sort of build a campaign about what young people want from Brexit. I want to speak to young people from all members of the community. What do we want? Do we want a hard Brexit? Do we want a soft Brexit? So that's something I really like your ideas from, and I really want to be able to put those messages across to the people that make those decisions. Secondly, we've got sort of political representation for young people more generally. Now, back in 1776, a little thing happened called the American Revolution. Basically, some colonialists over in America decided, not too hot on these British guys, we're going to sort of set up our own country, and I hear they're doing all right out of it. So the reason that happened, other than sort of tea being thrown into a river in Boston, was an idea called taxation without representation. Now, the idea of democracy is every month we pay money from our salary in tax, pay it to the government. They spend that money how they wish on schools, hospitals, private helicopters for diplomats, and in return, every 5 years, we vote and we decide who will make those decisions. And that system works great. The only problem is people under the age of 18 aren't allowed to vote. Now, the reason that's a problem is because we pay tax, right? So everything you buy, or most things you buy, from sort of luxury items, they're called, from chocolate biscuits to calendars, you are paying 20% of that as VAT, value added tax, and that money is going to the government. If you earn over £150 a week, which many of us do over the summer, in our summer jobs, you're paying national insurance, which is the money that Philip Hammond, our Chancellor of the Exchequer, the guy who sort of sets these tax rates, recently tried to increase. And if you earn more than £917 a month, which, when we leave school at year 11, some people decide not to go to sixth form or college, they just get a full-time job, they will be earning that. They're paying income tax. So why are we paying this money to the government if we don't get a say in where that money goes? That isn't how democracy is supposed to work. If I'm your Member of Youth Parliament, whilst I'm afraid I can't quite promise that we're going to get votes at 16, what I can do is I can take your opinions and I can project those, with an official platform to our MP, to the government, and say, actually, we need more money for our schools, or we need money for hospitals, or, I don't know, we should make the weekends 3 days. Whatever it is, I want to take your opinions and I want to get those across, because they're not going to listen to young people unless they have to, and I want to make sure that they have to. Third and finally, trying to do this quickly, we're at 3 minutes, that's too long, isn't it? Too long. Third and finally, we got sort of hatred and discrimination. Now, we come from the Isle of Wight, we're 97% white British, we're not too hot on diversity, but I don't think that means that we need to be, intolerant and xenophobic. That means disliking people different to us. I think the Isle of Wight is a progressive and inclusive place, and the young people who live here definitely are. Last month I was honoured to attend the Refugees Welcome Isle of Wight rally in Newport. It was really naff weather, it was driving down with rain, but we got out there and we shouted our message very loudly, and people will snicker at that and say it doesn't matter, but I think it does. And what it showed me was the amount of young people there. Young people in the Isle of Wight don't fit this stereotype that we hate Muslims and we hate black people and we hate refugees. That just isn't true. But until we have someone actually standing up there and saying, actually, Muslims are people too, the Daily Mail and Britain First and Liberty GP are going to seize upon that and portray us as people like that, and that just isn't who we are. I want to stand up and represent you and say, actually, we need our voices heard on Brexit, we need our voices heard on, well, everything, and actually, we want everyone to be treated equally. Now, 4.5 minutes, that is way too long. I would not be paying attention by now, so if you are, thank you very much. I'm just going to quickly wrap up by saying, look, I've never voted in a youth parliament election before. I had no idea what they were until November. But there's a reason why I'm running this time, because this time, I think, not just because I'm running, but now is a crucial time for youth parliament. We have Donald Trump In America, we have Marine Le Pen, who's sort of a French female Donald Trump, who may well be about to rule France. We have Brexit going on over here. It's scary times ahead. Young people need a voice, and especially young people in the Isle of Wight, we need to be heard, and we just are not being heard. So please do vote, do tell your friends, tell everyone this is important. It would take literally 30 seconds of your time. Voting is on the 2nd to the 5th of April, and please vote for me. Thank you very much for your time.